Let me help you with your vision, they losing their sight here. Time to send the world a message they might hear. Like meat meals, I'm making it quite clear. I'm chasing my dreams and fighting my nightmares. I'm going real hard, I'm talking words you understand, I'm talking real bars. I'm going everywhere, you know I'm talking real far. Yeah, it's time to raise a toast to this thing to the Lord the most. As I go from coast to coast, I'm talking north side, I'm talking south side, I'm talking east side, I'm talking west side. I'm going worldwide, I'm going worldwide, I'm going worldwide, I'm going worldwide. Yeah, it's time to let you know how I spit it when I flow. When I go and light a fuse and I set to let it blow. I'm talking worldwide, I'm going worldwide, I'm going worldwide, I'm going worldwide. Yeah, time to check my status and the GOAT is what it be. And you know I'm over 30, so my level is a G. And I may be from the hood, but I'm way beyond these streets. And my pockets hate a diet, so they always down to eat. Even though they screaming fame, and it's always spelling me. And I'll never hang it up till my mission is complete. And I'm looking at you haters, I suggest you take a seat. Cause it's all funny game to a killer show his teeth. This is for them cats that be screaming homies. Claiming that you're real, but we know you're phony. Now I'm chillin' with my sons, they my one and only. Like the Turner brothers, yeah, we screaming lions only. Step into this den, I welcome all who will dare. Never met a David, tell me whom shall I fear? Gotta rep the nation, black and gold is what I wear. If you look to your left, to your right, I'm everywhere. I'm talking worldwide, I'm going worldwide, I'm going worldwide, I'm going worldwide. Yeah.
Live here at the North Versailles Bowling Center. We have the boys and girls varsity bowling here at the North Versailles Bowling Center. Right now, it is seniors recognition night. We have 6 seniors from Woodland Hills that are being recognized. And we are here in the first game, both the boys and girls. I'm Maximilian Kiever here with Craig Thomas. It's pretty good night to be here. It's warm inside, cold outside. We're supposed to have a pretty cold weather tomorrow, so watch out for that. But right now, we're just taking it easy in here, just enjoying the game before us.
Absolutely. Great day for bowling inside North Versailles Bowling Center on the Roxamore Sports Network. Craig Thomas with Mad Max Kiever. How you doing today, sir?
Oh, I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great as always. Just feeling laid back, you know. I'm maybe a little bit too laid back, but nonetheless. What about yourself? Everything all good on your side?
Oh, absolutely wonderful. Absolutely magnificent. Great to be in a bowling alley. You know, this is one of my favorite 2 sports right now. Since I stopped playing football, I started getting into bowling. So I love bowling and I love tennis. This is one of my favorite pastimes. So I really enjoy seeing the young people out here bowling. So tonight, this afternoon, senior recognition night. Coach Don Cherry is recognizing his seniors here. Great Woodland Hills program. Right now, the boys are leading Propel. Boys at Woodland Hills, looks like the score is about 120 to 28. One thing about high school bowling, Propel only has 2 boys on their team, so there's no handicap. You don't get extra pins to even it out. You just bowl with what you get, and let the scores fall where they may. And right now, you know, Propel is fighting an uphill battle, but Woodland Hills has definitely an established program. And on the girls' side, how are you looking over there?
Yeah, over on the girls' side for Woodland Hills, we also have a 2-troop army. It is Mackenzie and Amira. They're both seniors, and they have been recognized. Interesting thing about Amira is she is actually in the Future Business Leaders of America, which is a very studious group of people to be with. A lot of promising scholarships that come out of that. We understand that she has a future that she's looking into for forensic examination. So she's all brains over there. And same thing with Mackenzie, who is planning to join the softball this spring for Woodland Hills. Right now, as mentioned, they are a two-troop army. They're going against Propel, who has three players on their side. And right now, it is Propel that is leading ahead.
Look like the score is 77 to 43, 41 on the girls' side.
Yeah, it's
the boys' side, once again, the boys at Woodland Hills are leading 142 to 28. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. Live bowling division on Roxamore Sports. Last night was basketball. What a great night of basketball we had at Gateway High School. Woodland Hills girls secured their position, and they are in the playoffs. Woodland Hills boys came up a little bit short, but they have an opportunity to also secure their playoff position if they win one more game out of the next three. I'm sure that Coach Eugene Wilson will have those guys prepped. Maybe join us Thursday. Tomorrow afternoon, it's going to be girls varsity basketball. I believe that will be at 5 p.m. I think they moved the time up.
Yeah, there's a possibility it might be delayed or canceled due to the icy weather tomorrow, but we're not really too sure about that. So your knowledge is as good as ours at this point. Right. But definitely stay tuned for any updates that might come out within the next few hours. We'll let you know about that.
And then also it's boys basketball Friday at home, Woodland Hills versus Kiski Prep, I believe. So we'll definitely be, on the air the next couple days. So make sure you join us. Great shot there by Zach for the Wolverines as he strikes, buries one in the pit. High flush strike. So far for the Wolverines, Andrew starts out with a double. Went for a little turkey, but came up a little bit short with a 7 and a 1 there. And then Zach right now is on a clean game with 2 spares and a strike.
McKenzie hits it off with a tap. 1 pin still standing. That is the 9th pin that is there. But good hit nonetheless. Over to her right-hand side, we have Makia with just the, looks like the 9th and 10th pin still standing. McKenzie makes the spare.
As Mike is up with a 9, going for the single pin conversion. Pretty easy for the right-hander. Lays the ball down and lets it track up. Take out the spare. Great job for the young man.
Makia also makes a spare for Propel. Coming up next, we have Amira. And she looks like she's pretty focused with this one, and that ball is straight and right on the nose. A strike for Amira.
So right now the boys are showing right now, and we have a washout on the right lane for Dylan. If he gets that ball to Brooklyn, he could have carried that 10 pin out, but he did not do it. So it's a 3-pin total on his spare ball. That gives him a 6 with an open frame there.
It's a good hit there by Andrew.
Yeah, good ball for Andrew, but a little bit too much speed on that ball. He didn't allow that ball to turn up to the pocket. That's why he ended up leaving 1 pin there. So early on, you guys can't really see it at home, but there's a lot of oil out there on the lanes. That's why you're really playing against your opponent, but the opponent is also the oil that's on the lanes. Yeah. So the oil pattern what makes it difficult there. And, either causes the ball to hook early or to hook late, depending on where you're playing at in the oil, and your ball speed, your rotation. All of those things are factors in whether or not you get that ball to hook and turn up into the pocket.
Absolutely. Minor details like that really do play a difference. It's like when you're playing soccer or football, that grass or that astroturf really makes a difference in how you perform.
And also with bowling, it's different balls. If you have a ball that goes long and hooks late, you got different surfaces of balls. You have a dull ball that will hook early and turn up early to the pocket. So, you know, there's different balls that are made to do different things, and they're drilled differently. So it's not just like you can go out. You might go out in a bowling alley and pick up a house ball. You might get lucky and bowl 200 once in a while. But to do it consistently on difficult oil patterns, you definitely not that easy at all.
No, definitely not.
Good spare there by Andre for Propel as he throws a backup ball, and he picks up the spare. Great ball. The ball went from left to right and back to left.
We got Zach over here to the left, here to make the spare. And can he do it? Yes, he does. Beautiful hit right there by Zach.
Yeah, great spare conversion. So in addition to when you think about being a great bowler, other things come into play like your approach, your stance. You know, your hands should be relaxed on the release of the bowling ball to get maximum revolutions on it. You shouldn't be going up real tense, holding on to the ball very tight. But great opportunity. That's a good ball there. That ball goes a little bit high at the last minute, leaving an easy spare conversion on the left lane for Mike.
Yeah, Mike is quite the player. His highest top score is 249, and he's playing it on.
So once again, good spare there. You know. Woodland Hills is definitely out here right now as they are leading 292 to 82. So once again, yeah. So definitely, you know, Wolverines are primed and in a position. Dylan blows up the pocket with 10 in the pit. I mean, 10 in the pit. That was a decisive strike. High flush strike in the pit. Great ball. One of the things that's different is when you see a player loft the ball, it's difficult to be consistent because sometimes when you toss the ball out on the lane, you can't make sure that you're going to hit the same spot. And more than anything, it's very pertinent that you get out in here and you're able to get the ball down, get the ball to the same spot. Ball goes a little bit high for Tyler.
Yeah.
Little bit high, but that's okay. You can make an adjustment on a high ball as opposed to the ball not getting up to the pocket. You know, a lot of bowlers think that when you throw the ball, great ball again on the right lane for Andrew as he crushes the pit, blows 10 back. But a lot of bowlers think that if you hit the 1-3 pocket, that that's a strike. The actual strike is a high flush shot. You cover 3/4 of that head pin, and that's what helps you get the corner pins out. You know, bowling and learning myself, I used to throw a lot of light pocket shots and leave a lot of corner pins. So I got out and practiced and understood that you need to get the ball to get high flush on that head pin, and that'll carry all those corner pins out. So either that or you'll leave a split, you know, like you saw just now. So on that right lane, Zach went a little bit high, and he left the split there. And so his ball jumped at the last second and did not go Brooklyn. It went through the head pin, and that was a result of his ball going high and through the head pin.
Yeah, he's got quite a nasty split there.
Yeah, and it's makeable. You just got to get the ball over like you hitting the 7 pin and slide the other pin over and take out the 10. He got a chance at that. Ooh, great effort there by the young man. Great effort. That's a good try there on a conversion.
All right, over to our left-hand side, we have the girls varsity bowling. Amira Tibbs here. And off to the left, unfortunately, sees a chance to make it spare here. Over to the right, we have a Makia from Propel here to make the spare. As 2 pins are still there, she makes a spare beautifully. Amira still has all 10 pins up. Let's see. She's just getting her footing correct. Eyes aligned. Let's see how the hand and eye coordination go. As Craig mentioned, the optics can be quite deceiving as, well, she taps it. As 1 pin that's still up, and she misses the spare, unfortunately, but nonetheless a great hit. That ball was focused and had good mobility to it. And a strike right there by Makia. With a speed of 12.3 miles per hour on that one. And we got Benia. She hits it with a tap. 1 pin still standing. Over to the right-hand side, we got Mackenzie. Mackenzie, 10 pins. All still standing. Well, actually, she hasn't made any hits yet. And beautiful, she hits it with a strike. A great hit there by Mackenzie with a speed of 14.3 miles per hour on that one. Benia, an unfortunate blow for her. That's the 1 pin. The 9th pin is still standing. Coming up next, we got Amira Tibbs. Back for Woodland Hills. As mentioned, Woodland Hills is for the girls bowling right now. It's just a 2-person team. That is Amira and Mackenzie. We've seen them before. They're quite the players. They can hold it up quite well. Right now it is Propel. That is beautiful strike right there by Amira. Hits it right on the nose and takes it all down. With a speed of 12.6 miles per hour. Makia from Propel. And she hits it off a little bit. And she has a bucket as a nice little diamond formation. He's there right before her. She has a chance to make the spare here. Over to the right.
You got the whole side, you know what I mean?
Benia.
Yeah.
And she's aligned.
Oh, okay.
She's got her eyes where they should be. Let's see if the ball follows through with the plan. Ooh. Almost. Quite the split there. As the 7, 4, and 10 pin are still standing. Almost a big 4 there, but more or less a big 3. And Makia just takes out half of the bucket as 2 pins are still there. Misses the spare. Now, Benia has a chance. Ooh. Well, she had a gutter ball there. But nonetheless, Propel is leading here in this match. As the score is currently 187 over 145. Woodland Hills is lagging behind a little bit. Quite for some obvious reasons. There's a difference in the numbers of players that are available. Propel with 3 players, and Woodland Hills with 2.
Ooh, wow.
Again, it is senior recognition night for Woodland Hills. There's 6 seniors here playing, 2 for the girls, and 4 for the boys. Makia, so far, Makia is looking pretty good with that, and it is indeed a strike. Good formation and good speed with 14.1 miles per hour. And we're heading over back to the boys.
So on the boys' side, once again, Woodland Hills is leading Propel in a big way here. 481 to 137. So we are live here at North Versailles Bowling Center, Senior Rec Day, here with Coach Don Cherry. And we are surrounded by some of the family members of some of these bowlers have come out to support it. So bowling is alive and well here at Woodland Hills Senior Day. I'm here with the family for senior captain Tyler Larson. And how you feel about seeing your son bowl here at Norfolk Sales Bowl? I know you're a good bowler as well.
Very excited. Just happy to watch him finish out a career.
So your son has been bowling, and he's bowled in over 100 matches.
Oh, yeah. Yes, yeah. He started as a freshman, thank goodness.
So a lot of these kids will have an opportunity to move on and go to college and maybe bowl in college. What do you think about his prospects moving forward?
He wants to do that. He'd like to go to Robert Morris and bowl in college, but we'll see. We'll see if that happens.
So it's a great opportunity for young people to get out and bowl. Thank you for joining us here at Norfolk Sales Bowling Alley on the Roxamore Sports Network. Good luck to your son. Good opportunity, and good luck to you in bowling. All right? So Craig Thomas here with Roxamore Sports Network. Great to be with you here this afternoon bowling division. I don't know how many of you get out and bowl, but here in Western Pennsylvania, when it's cold in the winter, it's good to be inside watching bowling on the Roxamore Sports Network. Craig with Max Keever, and right now the bowlers are going at it. Woodland Hills is bowling very well as their lead bowler, Andrew, has 132 in the seventh on a spare. Also their anchor bowler, Tyler, who we just mentioned, he is on a 129 in the sixth frame, and he's on a double. He already had a turkey earlier today. Got him a little turkey after Thanksgiving and after Christmas. We'll see if he can get some more turkey here when Tyler steps up on the lane. Right now, Zach is up trying to pick up a split, but he throws it just a little bit wide, gets it in the gutter. Well, Propel is up on the left lane. David throws the ball, and he leaves 3 pins. Should be pretty relatively easy pickup, but you got to be careful that you don't pick one out of the rack on this spare conversion. So up on the right lane is Mike. Up on the approach, great ball. He lays the ball down at about 5, and the ball comes up a little bit high as he gets the ball outside a little bit too early, and it comes up high. Goes a little bit to the left of Brooklyn side. Good spare conversion on that left side for David as he picks up the spare. 7 in the spare. So we'll see here on the left lane if Mike can pick it up. He has a sleeper pin. Got his mother-in-law back there behind. We'll see if he can pick it up and get the relatives out of the house, and he gets them all out. Great pickup for the young fella there. Great pickup for Mike. So far, partner, Woodland Hills is pretty much letting them have it here. The Propel, but Propel is making an effort here to stay in this match. So for Woodland Hills, Dylan is up, right lane, and he has a polished ball, and he blows 10 up in the pit, blows them back. And it looks like Dylan is bowling with more of a polished ball, which is allowing it to get a little further down the lane before it breaks into the pocket. So up for Woodland Hills is their team captain on the right lane, Tyler. And Tyler is waiting on his teammate, Andrew, on the left lane. Guess he's going lane courtesy. So that's another thing that goes on here. You know, these young people practice lane courtesy that a lot of people don't know about when you go to a bowling alley. And Andrew leaves a 10 pin. Tina the 10 pin standing up. Tyler's up, working on a little more turkey, and he lays the ball down, plays it tight, blows 10 up in the pit, gets a little bit of turkey for Tyler. Turkey, that's 2 in the game for Tyler. A little turkey time here, Norfolk Sales Bowling Alley. And it looks like Andrew blows by the 10. It seemed like he might be a little bit afraid of Tina the 10 pin. So it's a great opportunity to be out this afternoon, celebrate the young people here at Woodland Hills. So Tyler Larson is the son of Kelly and Ken Larson, who we talked to earlier. Tyler's a member of Woodland Hills soccer team, tennis team, as well as a member of National Honor Society. 4-year member of the team, and actually spent 5 years in the program here, beginning with the practice team. So you can get your kids involved, and he can bowl for varsity in the 8th grade. great opportunity for young people to get scholarships. My daughter was one of those young people that did get a scholarship to college and got a great deal of her college paid for through bowling. So there are some scholarship opportunities there. Good opportunity to get your kids out and be a part of it. Tyler's qualified for the league singles championships 3 times, regional championships twice, and finishing total member of the Wolverine bowling team. Following graduation, Tyler plans to pursue his degree in accounting. Not sure where, but he will definitely be in school. Bowling would be great. So, Max, how you doing over there with the girls? You winding down here with the girls?
Yeah, back over to the girls right now. It is looking pretty good for them. Right now, Propel is still swinging pretty fast as they have 221 points to their name right now over Woodland Hills. Woodland Hills 183. Nonetheless, as always, we got the dynamic duo, McKenzie and Amira for Woodland Hills, as they are really executing their skill sets pretty well. Right now, Amira's going in here for a spare. She managed to take out the 10-pin, and it looks like she that's pretty good body English there, but that ball is just not where she wanted it to be. Over to her left, we have Makia. Makia has a strike to her name here in the second game. And right now, it's just it's good to be here right now. It's just good to enjoy this ancient sport, as it's believed that this sport is has traces back to ancient Egypt from way back in the day, and it got popularized in around the 1930s again, although it was played quite many times back in the 1800s, but really gained popularity back in the 1930s, and right now we're just here enjoying it a few thousand years later, and it's good to see these young people out here just putting all their efforts here in this game. As Craig mentioned, there were all scholarship opportunities. Beautiful hit there by Makia as she makes the spare. Over there to her right-hand side is Benia. And that ball is pretty focused. Oh, although not quite where she wanted it to, as 4 pins still remain. That ball had 13.6 miles per hour on it. McKenzie over there to the left-hand side for Woodland Hills. She's hunched. I'm liking the body English, and that ball is, just off to the left, takes out the 7-pin. Not what she had in mind. Nonetheless, good position. It's just the hand, I suppose, was what made the ball off course. Nonetheless, we absolutely love to see the energy here from these athletes from both schools, Propel and Woodland Hills. As they're definitely putting a lot of effort and skill into each throw and each position. Off to the gutter by McKenzie. And she has a chance here to kind of reclaim her name on the scoreboard, but nonetheless, she's hitting pretty high. Nonetheless, over to the left is Amira, and Makia over to the right. Makia going up for Propel. Makia already has a strike to her name. Let's see if she can get another one. Not quite where she wanted it at. She gets a Greek church, which is not an impossible split there to make. Over to the left, we got a mirror. A nice focused ball, but it's going off to the left, and hits the 7-pin. Not what she had in mind. Makia with 111 points to her name so far, and a blow, unfortunately, as it just goes right by the pins. Amira getting a footing right. Good body English. And center and weaning off left. And just 2 pins. 2 pins in total. It's quite a slow ball there, as it's was only 0.2 miles. Brower. Pretty much at walkable distance, but nonetheless, she had a good aim. Got Makia, and just not what she had in mind. She has a chance to make a spare here, though, nonetheless. Craig, how are you handling it over there?
While we're away, Tyler has a triple spare, and Mike is up trying to shoot for the 7-10 split. Almost impossible to get, but he takes out the 7. I've only seen that made a few times. I've only made it a few times myself, but you can bounce that 7 pin over and out of the back of the pit and hit that 10 pin. The only way it's made, but it's very, very difficult to do. So on this side, the Wolverines are leading the Propel Braddock Hills young men, and they are leading 756 to 232. So it's actually somewhat of a shot there. Good ball by Dylan as he leaves, I believe it's a 6 pin there. It should be a pretty easy spare conversion for Dylan as he's working on 150 right now in the 9th frame. So up on the left side is Andrew for the Wolverines, and he has a 160 on a spare. Lays the ball down, ball goes Brooklyn, and he leaves a baby split. Now this one is possible to make. Just got to get the ball over and slide the pin over. Looks like Dylan does a drive-by. A drive-by shot. Leaves the pin, singles pin conversion. Up on the spare opportunity. Great shot by Andrew as he gets the ball in between the pins. I think that was a 5-10 split, and he picks it up. So up on the right lane is Tyler, the captain. 3 strikes, spare 3 strikes, and he leaves a solid 10 pin. Leaves a 10 pin. Ball hits a little bit flat. Strike on that right lane by Andrew as he finishes up the game with a 188 score. So right now, Tyler's up to try to pick up Tina to 10 and knock her out. This pin, he's going to go with a plastic ball. He's going to stand all the way to the left, and he's going to walk towards the pin, angle himself and walk towards the pin and let that ball just run out over and take out that 10 pin. Great effort by that young man. Textbook spare conversion for that young man. And he's working on a 206 in the 9th frame. Up on the left lane is Zach. Gets the ball to go high, and he leaves a split as well. Looks like a 4-10 split there. It's difficult. Difficult spare conversion, but he needs to get the ball to the left of the 4 and slide that pin across the lane and go off the wall like Michael Jackson if he wants, or take it out cleanly, however he wants to go. Good shot there. And it's a great ball there by Andre as he leaves a 7 pin. This young man has completed 3 gutters and picked up the spare on his second ball 3 times so far this game. So the first ball, he throws a great ball, but he leaves a 7 pin. So it's going to be interesting for him because he throws the ball, it looks like for him to hit that 7 pin, he needs to flatten that ball out. But for him to throw, I think he throws a backup ball at that 7 pin. And he throws it out and rolls it over, and it trips the 7 pin. That's a lot of skill there, ladies and gentlemen, to throw the backup ball. And it goes across the lane and comes out and takes out the 7 pin. So Andre's up for his field ball in the 10th frame. On the left lane is Mike. He's up, and he tickles him down, light in the pocket, but he gets the love from North Versailles Bowling Center, and he gets the strike. Good finish there by Andre as he throws his field ball, and he gets 7 on the field ball, and he ends up with a final score of 147. Good bowling. So Zach is up on, Mike is up on the left lane, He's working on a 157 plus this ball. And pulls it and goes high again as he looks like he popped up at the line a little bit. On the left lane. Oh, and he gets it to fall. David gets the late fall there. Looks like the 8-pin fell late for David, giving him a strike in the 10th. First ball in the 10th frame. So once again on the left lane, got Mike up. And he's trying to shoot at the 6'10". On the right lane, Davis on the field ball. And he leaves a single pin. Looks like a 5-pin. Mike with the pickup. So Mike finishes with a 167. Good first game for that young man. So we're wrapping up the first game here from North Versailles Bowling Center. Craig Thomas along with Mad Max Keever on the Roxamore Sports Network. You are live here. Bowling Division. Wednesday afternoon bowling. Quite a few family members up here supporting these young people on senior rec night. A lot of seniors here for Coach Don Cherry. And Dylan gets up and he blows up 10 in the pit. Blows 10 back. Great shot by that young man. Had a little bit of loft on the ball. He's bowling with a polished ball. So once again, we're finishing up this last couple bowlers. We're down to the last two bowlers here for the Wolverines, and then we're going to take it back over to Mad Max and check on the young ladies and see where they are in game number 2. Right now, Dylan is up with his second ball in the 10th frame. Bang, 10 in the pit. And Dylan is working on going out with a little turkey here. Turkey at dinner time for Dylan. He's getting ready to get it, to set the table with a little turkey. So he's at 170 right now, building on what he shot so far. Been a great opportunity if he could have struck in the 10th because he had 2 strikes prior to that. Struck in the 7th, struck in the 8th, left an open in the 9th, and then 2 strikes in the 10th. Last ball, looks like he pulled it a little bit. Ball goes a little high, and he leaves a split there to finish out. But 28 in the 10th is a good frame, young man. Great game for Dylan, and he finishes with a 178. So Tyler is up, anchor bowler. And he's up, and he can go out, looks like with about, no, he's on a 206 right now. So I think he can go out with 30 more there in the 10th, 40. That'll give him, and it's a little bit light in the pocket. And he leaves the double wood. And I believe this is the last ball here for Tyler. Looks like the 2-5. Either the 2-5 or the 4-8 for the young man. Nevertheless, it's a sleeper there. And he got to get the family member out the house as he has a sleeper there. Should be pretty easy for him to lay that ball down and let it run over and carry out 2 pins. And he completes the spare. So Tyler's already at a 222, and he can finish this game with a he has a 224 right now. He can finish this match with a 234. Great game by that young man. So it's just as soon as we're done with this last shot by Tyler, we're going to send it back over to Mad Max Keever and the girls division. Set up the approach. Tyler gets the ball down, gets the ball out over about 10, and blows 10 up in the pit. Great game by that young man, 234. So we're going to send it over to Mad Max back over on the girls' side. Max, how's it going so far over there?
Craig, right now the girls are rolling high. Right now we have the dynamic duo, Mackenzie and Amiro for Woodland Hills, and the troublesome triples. As it's 3 players right there for Propel. It's Bania, Makia, and Makaya. I keep mispronouncing Micaiah's name. So Micaiah's family, whoever is watching on her behalf, please forgive me for that. Nonetheless, she is performing quite well here in the second game, as right now Amira is kicking it off with a nice smooth ball, and ooh, all but 2 pins are still standing. A great hit nonetheless. Makia here for Propel. 18 points to her name so far. She's here in her 3rd frame. And Amira here to make this spare, as she has 2 pins, a sour apple. And that is need to be finished off here. Let's see. She has a chance to take the bite and throw away the core. And could have used a little more curvature there, but it's a blow, unfortunately, but a good hit nonetheless. That first happenstance. Micaiah, ball leaning over to the left, takes out the 7 pin. Not what she had in mind. Had pretty good speed to it nonetheless. 11.1 miles per hour. Got Benia coming up here for Propel on her left-hand side. Micaiah is here to make the spare. And let's see, she's getting herself positioned correctly. Eyes focused. She's taking a few deep breaths. And it does help out in performance, as you would imagine. And off to the right, unfortunately, as it takes out the 10. Takes out the 7 and 10 pin in total. And she misses the spare. Benia with a nice fast ball. Takes out all but 3 pins. 7 pins knocked down in total. At a speed of 10.2 miles per hour. We got Mackenzie for Woodland Hills. Fast ball, staying focused on the center a little bit. 7 pins down, 3 still standing. At a speed of 13.6 miles per hour, and Benia takes out 1 pin, 2 still standing, misses the spare. Good hit nonetheless. Mackenzie here to make the spare as 3 pins still stand. Looks like. Yeah. It's 276. You got it? Okay.
76 with 923.
Yeah. Kia, good hit to the left. Unfortunately, not quite what she had in mind. A mirror over here to the right-hand side. 19 points accumulated so far here in the second game. She seems like she's got this one, just from what I'm seeing from her body language so far. And that ball kind of went off to the left a little bit. Nonetheless, an ambitious throw, and she certainly didn't make it, but not quite where she had it in mind. Makia, the same as well. Nonetheless, like we mentioned, we're glad to be covering this game here for you guys, and we're glad that you're not out in the weather right now. The roads aren't really too bad. It's a little bit slippery in some spots. I know back where I'm from, there's a lot of hills, and road maintenance ain't so great in some places, so it's kind of annoying to get out the house. And over here at the North Versailles Bowling Center, we're kind of a bit crowded right now. Not too crowded, but we're congregated pretty thickly, if that's even a word. I'll just make it up. You can put it in the dictionary if you want. I said it. Nonetheless, a little bit packed here, so with the virus in mind, you know, obviously we're all being safe. Everyone's wearing a mask and things like that, but you guys are back at home, not worrying about that because you're in a safe place. So we're glad to be covering this game here for you. Right now, I know I'm having a good time. I know Craig's having a good time. And these students, most of all, are enjoying this ancient sport, as we've mentioned. It's a sport that goes way back in the old days. That we're talking about BCE, ancient Egypt, and here we are, 2022, enjoying it a few thousand years later. And it certainly is a very fun, competitive, but relaxing to watch in a way. Right now we got Benia. She has a bedpost split, also known as a super demon, but most people don't call it that, or we just call it the bedpost split. We ain't doing the Exorcist here. Mackenzie over to the left. Mackenzie has one strike to her name right there in the first frame. She's rolling pretty high here in the second game, as she has 40 points to her name. That ball is hugging the gutter ball, and in it goes. Hey, Craig, how's it going over there with the boys right now?
Well, the first game was pretty lopsided there. The Woodland Hills boys won 923 to 276. So Don Cherry, coach, is a little happy about that. High game was highlighted by Tyler Larson, the captain, and he came out with a 234 the first game. So great shooting by that young man. Teammates all bowl well. Great opportunity for these young people to be out here bowling here at North Versailles Bowl. Great opportunity bowling. Come on out, join the league here if you want to bowl. If you like to bowl for fun, family, friends, get out and bowl. Great activity, great time here to be a part of bowling on the Roxamore Sports Network. So you got Dylan up, and he leaves the big four. Dylan leaves the big four. This one is pretty tough to make. You got to get the ball over to the right side, take out the 6 and the 10, and slide the 6 over in 2. The other 2 pins on a 4-7, it looks like, and hopefully you can pick it up. But this is a very, very difficult. On a scale of 1 to 10, this is a 10 on the difficulty meter. And he throws the ball out, gets it over, and almost gets the ball to come out of the pit. Great effort by that young man. So once again, thank you for joining us here live on the Roxamore Sports Network. The lane conditions look like they might be changing a little bit. Might be drying up a little bit for the young people, so you're going to have to make an adjustment here. Most of the time, you have to chase the ball left. So if you're out there and the ball starts running left, you got to move left to get fresh oil. So you step over about maybe a couple inches, maybe a couple boards, maybe 2 or 3 boards, and try to get into some fresh oil. Or you can try swinging the ball a little bit. So up on the left lane is Andrew, and he just blows by that spare. But great opportunity for that young man. So Tyler is up on the left lane trying to pick up his 6'10 spare. He picked this up before with no problem. And it looks like he's throwing his spare ball at it, which is kind of tricky sometimes. That spare ball will flatten out and chop it. Little bit of drive-by. That was just the jinx there, the announcer's jinx, because that happens on a regular basis, especially when you throw that plastic ball at those corner pins. Doesn't have an opportunity to curve and come back. So that's what's difficult about throwing that at the corner pins. So once again, Tyler starts out with an open, but nonetheless, I'm sure he'll come back and bowl hard the rest of the way out. So up for Braddock Hills Propels, Andre on the left lane, and he has a 8 open frame. He throws the ball, gets it out to about the 3rd board. Ball runs high, and he leaves 2 pins. In the right lane, Mike is up, and he tickles the pins, gets a light hit, and feathers the pins down and comes away with a strike. So we'll see if Andre can complete his spare there. Thank you for joining us live on the Roxamore Sports Show here, or Bowling Division. Live here from North Versailles Bowling Alley. Throwing a backup ball once again, a little unorthodox, is Andre, and he misses the spare conversion. So once again on the right lane, you have Dylan up for the Wolverines. throws the ball, gets it down at about 10, and he leaves a solid 10 pin. Great hit by the young man, but part of that might be the angle into the pocket, and he lofts the ball quite a way down the lane. On the left lane, David gets it, push the ball left, and he gets a lucky strike on that left lane. So Dylan's up on the right lane trying to get Tina the 10 pin out, lofts it down, knocks her out. Tina is off the lanes. So Craig Thomas here once again. North Versailles Bowling Center. Lower Bowling Center in North Versailles. Great opportunity. Come out and see Beanie. If you want to sign up for a bowling league, be a part of bowling, do some open bowling. Friday night, Saturday night. If they don't, after leagues, if they're available, come on out and get some bowling in with your family. Great opportunity, great family outing. On the left lane is Andrew, and he gets up. Strike, so strike, open, strike. Tyler is up on the left lane, lays the ball down. And you get a little more speed there. He plays a little tighter shot, and he gets 10 in the pit. Good comeback for Tyler. Off the open frame in the first frame. So up for Wolverines is Zach on the left lane. And he's a two-handed bowler. Gets that ball out to the right, and it does not come back and finish. And he leaves a multi-spare conversion. Good ball there by Andre. He leaves a single spare conversion. Looks like the 4-pin there, so he'll have an opportunity. And you'll see that amazing backup ball that Andre throws, and he'll no doubt be trying to pick up that pin with the backup ball. Big conversion here. Tight in the pocket for Zach, and he carries them all. Great shot. You saw Coach Don Cherry out there giving him a little bit of instruction, and it worked out good. Andre with the backup ball. Easy spare for the young man. Good ball. I'm not sure how long it took him to practice that, but that's not that easy. Throw the ball out to the right and make it back up to the left. Up on the left side is Mike. 10 in the pit. Mike starts out the second game with a little bit of turkey. Little turkey for Mike. Good bowling. So we are in the second game of 2 here. Woodland Hills took out Propel 923 to 276. Dylan is up with a strike on the left lane. Spare conversion on the right lane for David, and he leaves a single pin. It's a 5 and a 4. So once again, I'm grateful to be here with you Wednesday afternoon on the Roxamore Sports Network bowling division here, high school bowling. Young people out bowling here. Bowling is alive and well here in Western Pennsylvania. Senior rec night. Quite a few bowlers here. They've been bowling for quite some time. We'll give you the rundown before we get into the last game here. But right now, we want to send it back over to Max to the girls division. Max, how's it going over there, brother?
You know, it's going actually pretty fine right now. Propel is still swinging pretty high, but I'm really liking the performance here by Woodland Hills nonetheless, as Woodland Hills has accumulated 109 points so far. McKenzie, 58, and Amira, 51. Nonetheless, let's just kick it back into action here. Makia with a beautiful strike, just like that. That is, oh, actually, no, I take that back. That is a spare. I got a little bit too excited there. But nonetheless, a beautiful spare as she clears out the house. We got a Mirror over here to the left-hand side. McKenzie over there to the right-hand side. Mira here to make the spare as the 10-pin is still standing there defiantly. And, oh, just a drive-by, unfortunately. McKenzie over here to the right-hand side. She has 10 pins standing. And let's see how well this ball hits. Right on the nose. It is a tap. As one, the 8th pin, it looks like, is still standing. nonetheless, it's a great night to be here. Actually, I'm usually covering games at night, so I'm always saying at night, but it's the afternoon. No windows in here, so I lost my my reference for time here. But nonetheless, it's a great afternoon being here at the North Versailles Bowling Center. We love to see these athletes put their all in all in the performance. It's a great game from both schools. Good competition, good sportsmanship as we see the athletes both interacting with each other in a positive manner. Nonetheless, it's a relaxing sport to watch. Not so much when you're playing the game. I suppose you're a little bit more focused on your performance, how you're positioning yourself, how much speed are you putting in the ball, where your eyes are aligned at. The eye-hand coordination is everything in this sport, as well as the positioning of your body, whether you're a cranker or a spinner when it comes to your bowling positions. But nonetheless, we just love to see their passions, the passion of the athletes being put into the lanes. Amir over here to the right-hand side. 51-point server name for Woodland Hills. And that ball is pretty decent, as 2 pins still stand. She misses the spare one, but nonetheless, it was a good hit with a speed of 11.8 miles per hour. We have McKee over here and Makaya. And unfortunately, she doesn't make the messenger move over to the right-hand side in order to make the spare, but nonetheless, she did hit the 7-pin. And there we go. All right, there we have a washout for Benia. Now, washouts aren't really too hard to clear out, as the pins are pretty close to each other, but it's not too hard to miss that shot also at the same time. We'll see how it works out for her. Makaya over here, 41 points to her name accumulated so far. A beautiful focused shot right on the nose. Ooh! Almost. Great shot nonetheless, though, as the 7th and 5th pin are still standing. Now, Benia.
They got 2 left.
Benia close out the washout. The spare, a decent speed of 14.6 miles per hour on that one. All right, we're taking it over to the boys now.
So on the boys' side here, we are in about the 5th frame here in North Versailles Bowling Alley. Craig Thomas along with Mad Max Keever. Senior Rec Night. Bowling on the Roxamore Sports Network. So far, we're looking at the bowlers for Woodland Hills have a decisive advantage, partly due to how many players they have, because in high school, you do not get a handicap. So North Versailles, here at North Versailles Bowling Alley, Woodland Hills comes in with 5 bowlers to the 2 bowlers for Propel, and that's why they are in the lead, 343 to 95 here. And Mike gets up, and he was on a 4-bagger, looking to got the turkey and bought the sides and was looking for dessert, and he gets up and leaves 4 pins on that. On the other hand, looks like David throws a 3 and a 6. So it looks like Mike will come up and try to complete this spare conversion. Pretty difficult spare conversion for him. So 1, 2, 4, 7. Gets the ball over Brooklyn on that, and the ball takes out all of the pins. Great textbook shot by that young man. As he gets the ball to the left of the head pin, and it carries all the pins out. So great spare conversion there. So up on the left lane is Dylan, and he is working off a strike and a spare. On a spare, you know, with the spare, the first ball, you get 10 pins added onto your score. With each strike, you go the next 2 balls. So it's advantageous to get 2 to get strikes, and then your score will add up quickly with the strikes. So Dylan's up on the approach, lays the ball down. A little bit a tight shot, and he gets everything out. 7-pin falls late to avoid the big split, and he is left with Tina, the 10-pin. So we'll see if he can get that 10-pin out. This is the nemesis for the right-handed bowler. Probably the most difficult pin for the right-handed bowler to get, but he's going to take the approach. He's going to stand to his left a little bit and walk and try to get that ball to go over the middle arrow out towards the 10-pin and take that 10-pin out. And he flattens out his hand, just drives by it. Got to open his shoulders up a little bit more and walk a little bit more at it and traject that ball out towards that pin. So anchor bowler Tyler Larson started with an open, but he's already got a little bit of turkey. Got him 3-bagger, and he's trying to bring some sides right now. Andrew's up first, though, on the right lane. Lays the ball down out wide, and he gets the ball to run high. Almost kicks out the pin there. He is left with, I believe that's a 5-pin there. 9-pin there. Good ball by Tyler Larson. He gets the ball to go high flush, blows him back, 10 in the pit for Mr. Larson. So he has the turkey and some sides there. Ooh, great pickup there on that right lane by Andrew. You don't got to hit it hard. Just touch it. Just touch it. So for Propel, Andre's up on the left lane, and he leaves a big 4 split. Yuck mouth. Difficult spare conversion for that young man. So Zach is up on the right lane. Throws the ball. Blows 10 back in the pit. Good job by Zach there, as he has only 1 open frame so far. Good try by Andre on the spare. He leaves 2. So Mike tries to come back. He started the game with a 4-bagger. And he has a spare, 6 a spare. We'll see if he can get refocused there. Starts with the ball a little bit out to his right. Lays the ball down out at about 10. Good speed. Great ball. Great ball mark and good position. Carries 10 back in a pin with the 7-pin falling late. Good job by that young man. So once again, it's Craig Thomas live with you here in North Purcell's Bowling Alley. And today is, what national day is it for today? We like to cover this all the time. So today, February 2nd, is National Girls and Women in Sports Day. National Groundhog Day. This is a good one for you. National Tater Tot Day. So we all love tater tots. Maybe they got some tater tots here. Benny, you got tater tots here at the bowling alley? No tater tots here. But today is National Tater Tot Day. Nonetheless, great opportunity for you to come out and bowl here at Norfolk Sales Bowling Center. Craig Thomas, along with some of the parents of the bowlers. How you doing today, sir? Who you here with?
Here with my wife. We're here for Michael Farrington.
Michael Farrington. One of the senior bowlers. So what's his plans for the future?
I think he's planning on being a carpenter.
All right, nonetheless, he'll probably be a good bowler. He'll probably come out here and join a bowling league and go be a carpenter and have a good time and join bowling here at the North Purcell's Bowling Center. Good luck to the young man, and congratulations to the parents as well, because we know it's very time-consuming to come out and bring these kids out to bowl and bowl in these matches and practice.
Yes, always.
So congratulations on these seniors. So we are going over to the girls. Mad Max, back at you.
All right, girls are In the last frames here at the second game they're playing, right now it's Propel taking their anchor right now, Micaiah, as she has 73 points to her name. It's accumulated so far in the second game. Woodland Hills finished off at 162, and Propel right so far here at 267. And that is it for the second game for the girls varsity bowling. Again, just to touch the score, it was 162 Woodland Hills and 267 for Propel. And this is Roxamore Sports Live. Maximilian Kiefer here with Craig Thomas. We'll be right back after these messages.
Hello, I'm Lisa Baldwin with Remax Select Realty. My experience and my commitment makes everything I touch turn to sold.
Call Lisa Baldwin at 724-933-6300 extension 489 or go to selecthomefinder.com.
We are back here live, Norfolk Sales Bowling Center, Roxamore Sports Network, where the boys bowling is in game number 2 here. Woodland Hills leading Propel so far, 583 to 146. Great opportunity, great afternoon to be out bowling. Great senior rec day. So we want to look at another one of the seniors here, James Brooker. He is a son of Elizabeth and Michael Brooker. James is a first-year member of the bowling team. James is also on the tennis team as well as being in the marching band. While James spent all of his time on JV squad, he has constantly improved his skills, posting a 175 high series of 409. After graduation, James plans to go to college and study software engineering. So you got some very ambitious young people. As team captain Tyler Larson is up, and he strikes. And that looks like 6-bagger for Tyler Larson. He got turkey, dressing, some sides. Also, he bought the dessert. So Tyler's on 6-bagger there. Great comeback after open starting the game to get his game back. So on the right lane, you got James up, gets the ball a little bit left, goes Brooklyn, and he leaves 2 pins there. It's not the easiest spare conversion. Actually, he has 3, so he has a sleeper there. He's going to have to get the ball out to the right and let the ball follow and trail up into the pocket and take out the 1-3-5. So this one right here is a pretty difficult spare. On a scale of 1 to 10, I give this maybe about a 6 or a 5 because it's easy to chop. We'll see if the young man can complete it. He gets the ball out wide, and it comes back late, and he leaves the head pin. So once again, thank you for joining us on the Roxamore Sports Network. Great afternoon of bowling here. Tomorrow's slate, Woodland Hills basketball, so far is scheduled to be on at 5 p.m., Woodland Hills girls, but we will see because we are due to have some very inclement weather here tomorrow afternoon. So Mike is up, and he's building off of a double, and Mike gets a little bit more turkey turkey for the young man again. He likes turkey. As he started out the game with a 4-bagger, then he gets open, it looks like a spare, and then he comes back with 3 strikes again. So a lot of turkey going around for that young man. So we're going to send it back to Max over in the girls division. Max, how's it going over there, sir?
So far, it is going quite fine. We had just seen a strike right there by Mackenzie, right there in her second frame. A beautiful strike at, there's no recorded mile per hour on that one, but nonetheless, it had some speed to it. Over here to her right-hand side, we have a mirror, and the girls have just opened up in their third game. The last game, it was Propel that came out with a higher scoreboard, as they came out with 267 over 162. But nonetheless, great performance by all the players from Woodland Hills and Propel. You make it this far in the season, you're putting your best efforts into it. And nonetheless, you always, with any game, with any practice, you take notes, you make some improvements here and there. And certainly we all seeing that right now. That is a beautiful hit right there, a strike by Benaya. 14.6 miles per hour on that one. Over there to her left is Amira. Amira here on her second frame. A nice smooth ball. And takes out 3 pins nonetheless.
There you go. Good ball, Tyler. Good ball. He got that one out a little bit.
Nakia. Nice focus ball. Beautiful hit. 3 pins still standing though. And Amira here to the left. Getting her footing correct. Eyes focused. And she goes in for a nice swinger position and clears out the house with a spare. Makia coming up next for Propel. Over there to the right lane. And Benaya over there to the left lane. Benaya so far with a strike to her name. Makia, we've seen her make some pretty good, decent shots in the last 2 games. Quite a number of strikes. Benaya over here with a fresh batch of pins to take down. Oh, she hits it. But looks like she has a bit of a washer to clear out here. Makia, 10 pins, standing. Let's see how well she makes this throw. Surely they won't be standing for much longer, as she is pretty much a hot shot, a assassin when it comes to making these smooth and fast rolls. That ball is looking pretty focused. It's curving over to the right, and it's 7 pins down, 3 still standing. The speed of 10.9 miles per hour. Benaya almost makes the spare. All but that one still standing. That is the 8 pin that is still standing. But a great hit nonetheless. Over there, Makaya for Propel. Here to make the spare. 3 pins still standing defiantly. But surely she won't take that sass any longer. She seems pretty focused. Positioned straight up. Let's see if she goes for a, all right, she goes for a spinner and makes the spare. High fives her teammate, Makaya. And over there to her right is Mackenzie coming up. Makia's shot is pretty decent for the most part. We got a bucket, but she can surely toss that bucket nonetheless and make the spare. Mackenzie over there to the right-hand side for Woodland Hills. Let's see. She has 10 pins standing. Surely she can make it. 19 points to her name, just as same as Amir, who currently holds 19 points to her name. That is almost a chop as it takes out 2 pins. Oh, actually, yeah. Let's see. Actually, I take that back. It takes out 3 pins. Makia Here to make the spare. It looks like that's going to be a drive-by, a blow, unfortunately. As it just goes right by. The bucket is still there. McKenzie over here to the right-hand side. 29 points accumulated so far. Nonetheless, again, these players have been hitting the all in it, and we certainly have been seeing that. A chop for McKenzie. Misses the spare, but a chop nonetheless. At least she gets one pin down. But as mentioned, great practice here. It's leading to this good performance we're seeing from both sides, the boys and the girls. The girls have a lot to be proud about. All right, so heading back over to the boys. Craig, what are you seeing over there?
So team captain Tyler Larson's up on the left lane. He just threw a 7-bagger, was up for 8 in a row. Got the ball a little bit inside, runs a little high, leaves a 2-pin spare conversion. Looks like the 4-7 or the 8-7 spare. So 4-7 looks like. So he's up on that lane. It looks like it's gonna and he drives by it. Little focus, he was a little upset at himself for not throwing his best ball the first time. So nonetheless, that's 7-bagger. Up on the right lane there. Great strike there by Andrew. And he goes out with a triple there in the 10th to give him a great score there for Andrew. Woodland Hills is right now leading Propel 869 to 191. So once again, we are live here on the Roxamore Sports Network. Thank you for joining us here. Bowling division. Bowling here. The earliest known forms of bowling date back to ancient Egypt, with wall drawings depicting bowling being found in a royal Egyptian tomb dated back to 5200 BC. And the miniature pins and balls in an Egyptian child's grave at about 5200 BC. So early 16th century, they were bowling. So that's interesting. It's a great opportunity now. I'm not sure that they had the oil to be able to put down on the lane and change the surface or the different surface that we have right now. So once again, we are live here, Roxamore Sports Network. Up on the left lane is Andre finishing up his second ball in the 10th frame, and he shoots a 10-pin and goes wide and leaves a 10-pin. On the right lane is James. He's shooting at the 7, and he's going to be trying to get the 7-pin off. So once again, we are here with a lot of the family members. Hey, ladies, can you make a little noise for us here on Roxamore Sport? Are you excited to be here with your family? So come on out and join us. Great opportunity to be here on the Roxamore Sports Network here at North Versailles Bowling Center. So bowling's not like a very polite sport. Yeah, it's not like golf. You want to keep it shh, and he's up on the approach. And Mike is up, and he rolls the ball softly, and he gets 10 in the pit. No, great ball by Mike on the right lane. He has a great game going so far. He's at 235, so he's shooting for a great game here. And his partner in crime, Tyler, is already on a 215, building on what he can do in the 10th. So the big thing with Tyler is he has all those strikes, but he has 2 open frames. So those open frames bring your score down. Good ball there by Mike on the right lane, and he leaves 10-pin. Shouldn't be a problem for that young man. He's pretty good at knocking out the 10. So thank you for joining us once again. North Versailles Bowling Center, North Versailles, Pennsylvania. Bowling, Woodland Hills versus Propel, Braddock Hills. Great matchup. Great to see the young people out. I don't know if you got a shot of Coach Don Cherry's jacket, but that's a beautiful jacket he has on. Maybe we can get a shot of that. Great jacket there for the coach. Woodland Hills turquoise. So he's honoring his young people here on Senior Day, Senior Recognition Day. Woodland Hills is leading 907 to 217 here in the second match of 3 here. The third one will be the rubber match. So we're finishing up the second game. Woodland Hills is leading big. Dillon's up in the 10th frame. Rolls the ball down, high flush, leaves a solid 10 pin. I'm sure he's not happy about that 10 pin standing up. Most of the time I would tell people that when you're bowling, you have to have a 10-second rule. You throw a good ball or a bad ball, you can only be upset for 10 seconds because you lose your focus on completing the spare. So that's the mental part of the game. So we'll see if he can get refocused. I'm sure he's not happy about leaving a 10 pin. We'll see if he can get up there and hit it. And he throws it in the channel. He went a little longer than 10 seconds. He was a little upset at that ball. That was a great ball by the young man. So he finishes up with a 149. So the senior anchor, Tyler Larson, is up. Team captain to fill out his game here. With 30, he can fill it out and go with a 245 there and beat out his teammate who finished up, Mike, with a 244 that game. Larson is up, gets the ball out wide, and it runs back good. He gets the ball out to about 5, board 5, and where there's a lot of friction right now. And that drew the ball right up to the pocket as he blows it up and gets 10 in the pit. So once again, Larson is up. He had a great game the first game as well as he bowled 234. So with this second game here, he's definitely on track for a 700 series closing out the season. Larson is up, the approach, gets the ball out wide, gets it out, and the ball runs up good. Oh, and he leaves the solid 10 pin. Great shot by that young man. A bad break there. So if he completes this spare conversion, he will have a 235. So it'll be a 234 and a 235. So those are two great games on any level of bowling. High school or even in the league. So great spare conversion for that young man. 235 game. So once again, Craig Thomas here. Live, Woodland Hills bowling here against Propel on the Roxamore Sports Network. Woodland Hills defeats Propel in the second game, 936 to 217. Great bowling, Tyler. So, Max, we're going to come back to you. Girls bowling, back at you. How's it going, Max?
Smooth sailing from what I'm seeing for both teams right now, with mostly Propel as they are leading high here in the third game. Right now we got Mackenzie. She has 61 points accumulated so far. 2 strikes here in the third game. And right now that ball is looking pretty promising. And, ooh, just a sour apple. And she has a chance to take a big bite out of here and throw away the core. But we shall see. Okay, so previously we just had the boys game. Woodland Hills with 936 points to their name, over 217 from Propel. It's quite an interesting match, a lot of great performance there, especially Tyler, Dylan, Mike, and all the players all really together. But yeah, excellent performance nonetheless from those boys. We've seen them play, we've seen them practice, and it's phenomenal all the way around. The 2 players from Propel, Andre and David, they were quite phenomenal as well, as they obviously racked up 217 points to their name. It's always hard to be just that one. It's always hard to be a one-man team and a 2-man team. So great performance by them. Definitely applause is very well awarded to them as well. Nonetheless, over here for the girls, we have Amira with a nice focus ball, an orange ball this time. Very flamboyant and a beautiful shot at that, as 3 points are still standing. Makia over here has getting ready to make this shot as she's standing, focused, getting her footing right, trying to focus on how she's going to basically get that handling in there. Whether she's going to go for a spinner position or a looks like she's going for a spinner position, and that ball is rolling, clears it out almost. 8 pins down, 2 to go. A sour apple, just have a bite taken out of it. A mirror over there to the left-hand side. 47 points to her name so far. Ball is weaning off there to the left. And as mentioned, it is senior recognition night. These players are, they came a long way, especially here on the girls team. They're both seniors, and they're the only ones on the girls side representing Woodland Hills. They got some brains to them as well. Pretty good GPAs, and Amira, she's part of the Future Business Leaders of America, which is a very cerebral group to be a part of. It's basically just a business-focused student organization, and very competitive. So she has the competitive spirit that is needed for her future ambition of becoming a forensic examiner. A lot of money to be made there. And Mackenzie, she plans on getting involved in the girls softball coming up in the spring here in her senior year. So she plans to go out in her high school career with a bang. And right now, she's certainly making quite a few bangs here in this game, as she has 2 strikes to her name and 1 spare. And 79 points accumulated so far. That ball is beautiful. 3 pins are still standing, but nonetheless, good formation. Good speed on this ball over here to the left by Makia. As she closes out 8 pins, 2 still standing. Just as Mackenzie, she has a chance to make the spare here. 3 pins still standing. And it's a good atmosphere in here right now. We have the, as mentioned, it is senior recognition night, and with that, there is the family members of the athletes we're seeing here at this event. They're all here enjoying the game, just as you guys are, the spectators from afar. And everyone just seems to be in a good mood, and that's what we like to see, this healthy competition, no toxic behavior from anybody. That's something nobody likes to see in any sport. So right now we're seeing good interaction between the teammates from different schools. At the end of the day, guys, it's a game, right? It's competitive. There's the school pride and all that, but nonetheless, it's still a game, and we're all here enjoying it, camaraderie. As we mentioned quite a few times, this is an ancient sport, so the rules have changed over the years. It definitely has been, transformed over the years, especially here in the Americas. We have what we call a Brooklyn, which is obviously originated in Brooklyn because the way they interpret that curve shot is basically their side of the river is always the correct side, and that's where that name originates from. We have the turkey, obviously, that's an American saying, because back in the old days, they used to give out free turkeys every time you get 3 strikes in a row, so now we just give out scholarships and calls, apparently, also, from what I hear also, in some cases. Right now, that shot is a little bit off for Amira as it takes out 2 pins. She seems a little bit baffled about how that happened. All right, Makia over here to the left, 78 points accumulated to her name so far here in the 3rd game. That ball is rolling pretty well. Oh, just drive by. Anyways, we're going to take it back to the boys over to our right-hand side. Craig, what are you seeing right now?
So this is the rubber match here. This is the match 3 here. Woodland Hills has won the first 2, so this match is essentially over. They're bowling up here just for basically fun here, the qualification for different tournaments and opportunities here. These young men are up here trying to post their best scores. Tyler Larson shooting for a 700 series. Mike Farrington also, he'll be shooting for a great series as he had a 244 that last game. Larson goes a little bit high, and he leaves 1 pin. Looks like the 4 pin. So Coach Cherry is excited about being here. Let's talk about the fourth senior here for the boys, Mike Farrington. Mike is the son of Marcia and Kevin Farrington and the grandson of Michael Hess. Mike is a 4-year member of the team, the 2-time league single championship qualifier. Mike's average is 183 this year, his highest career season average. He's boasted on a career high 249 games earlier this season versus Sarah Catholic, and he almost topped that tonight with a 244. His high series was 644, 646, also bowled 2 years ago as a sophomore. At the end of the day's match, Mike will join some of the few elite Woodland Hills bowlers to have bowled more than 110 varsity bowling games. After graduation, Mike plans to attend CCAC to attain a journeyman's degree in carpentry. So young people have a great opportunity going forward. We talked to his family earlier. They're very proud of the young man. Bowling is definitely a team sport, but it's also individual. You playing against your opponent, and you're also bowling against the lane conditions. Understanding when the ball is hooking, being able to go to a different surface ball, adjust your hand position, come up the back of the ball, or actually put more wrist in the ball and get more turn out of it. So this basically is a game that you have to be able to make adjustments on the fly. So once again, you are live here on the Roxamore Sports Network bowling division. Right now, Woodland Hills leads Propel Braddock Hills, third match, 83-39. I'm Craig Thomas, along with Mad Max Kiever here bowling. Don't forget, we'll be on tomorrow with basketball, girls varsity basketball, and then also on Friday with boys varsity basketball. So while we have a moment, I'd like to get Coach Cherry here. Hi, Coach, how are you? We got to get him on camera with this blue jacket. Coach, how's it feel here? You here, senior recognition night. How many years have you been coaching here at Woodland Hills?
26.
26 years. So not long after the district started, you came on board.
Yes, I started coaching in 1996. I was hired by the district in 93. I've been coaching since 96. It's been a lot of fun. Something that's near and dear to my heart, and I enjoy it. You know, getting time to spend some time with the kids, doing something that we both enjoy.
Absolutely. So how are you feeling about this senior crew you got here?
Well, I tell you what, we've got a good group of kids here for the senior boys. You know, the way that things are going, you know, we're going to finish undefeated the second year in a row. Very pleased with the way they conduct themselves, the way they learn things. And we're hoping to go into these championships and show what we can do. One of the things that I've talked with the boys a lot about is when we do what we're capable of doing, we're a tough team to beat. And the other side of that is when we don't do what we're capable of, we can be beat very easily. So the one thing that has helped along the way is the kids have been very humble about things and understand, hey, they're still growing to do, they're still learning to do, and I can still get better. So that has helped us along the way as well.
So, Coach Cherry, we'd like to thank you and congratulate you on a long career, continued success here, undefeated 2 years in a row. Support bowling here at Woodland Hills High School, here on the Roxamore Sports Network. Craig Thomas, and I'd like to thank you, and we'll send it back over to Max, the girls division. Thank you.
Yes, sirree. The girls are here in the last few frames here in the third game. Right now, the score is 20-80 for Propel. And for Woodland Hills, it is, once that screen clears up, 160. Again, Woodland Hills is a two-person army right now. McKenzie and Amira holding the fort down pretty well. And then over there to the left, we have Bania, Makia, and Micaiah. And they're quite skilled players. A beautiful strike there, right there by Micaiah. Again, we are here in the last frames of the third game. Right now, it's Amira and McKenzie side by side to each other. Amira with 52 points right now. And that ball is pretty focused, and 3 pins still standing. Good hit nonetheless. And McKenzie over there to the left-hand side, 10 pins all standing there, and not for long as she makes a Greek church. Well, not quite a Greek church. It's a It's a nasty split nonetheless. And 4 pins still standing. Over there to the right-hand side, Benia. And clears it out with a strike. She's quite proud of herself as she kind of has that little smile going on. She knows what she did. All right, Mackenzie over there to the left-hand side. Here to make the spare. Trying to get that messenger over there without killing the messenger, that is. And that ball is looking like it's going to the right. And a chop. And she misses the spare. 3 pins still standing. Benia over there. She previously made a strike and almost did it again. A tap. 1 pin. That is the 7 pin still standing. Over there to the left, Amira, 58 points to her name here in the 3rd game. She's getting her footing correct. Eyes aligned like a hunter after its prey, and that ball is hot, going center, rolling, and sour apple. Let's see. Benia, that ball is going to be a blow as she misses the spare. 14.6 miles per hour on that one. Makia. And Amira. Amira here in her last frame. 2 pins still standing. And that ball is going over to the left. I don't think that ball got the message of it's supposed to be heading over to the right. Oh, well. Nonetheless, good performance there by Amira and Mackenzie. And a good hit by Makia. Let's see. Yeah. Let's see. Right now we have the anchor, which is Makaya. And she has 96 points to her name so far. Well, actually, that's coming up after Makia. Let's see. Got a ball for Makia. And Woodland Hills finishes off at 181 points here in the 3rd game. Again, great performance by both teams, Propel and Woodland Hills, as it's not easy to be a trio or a duo. But nonetheless, they held down pretty well, made some good shots, and they had the spirit. Nonetheless, got a ball there, weaning off to the left for Makia. She is the anchor, Makaya rather. 96 points to her name so far. Here, again, she is the anchor in the 3rd game, Propel. And it's the final bowl of the game for the girls, as they have accumulated 838 points thus far. That is until Makaya makes a change here in the score board, as that ball is going off to the left. Looks like it's going to be a chop. Oh, it's a little bit more than a chop as it takes out 2 pins. At a speed of 11.3 miles per hour. Good hit there, nonetheless, by all players. The final score is 146 points, and Woodland Hills with 532. That is 846 by Propel and 532 by Woodland Hills in total. So Propel wins the game. They come out as the victor today. But again, great performance there by Woodland Hills all the way around. I'm going to take it back to my man Craig over there to the right-hand side. Craig, how's it going?
We are in the 3rd match here, the rubber match. Woodland Hills is continuing their streak here, undefeated 2 years in a row. Great job by Coach Cherry here. Once again, he definitely fields a great team every year. Great foundation, has some great bowlers. Anchor bowler Tyler Larson is up on the right lane after posting 2 great scores, 234 and 235. He's up first ball there. He's working off a strike, and he blows up the pit for a little double. Up on the right lane is Andrew. Up, and he blows up 10 in the pit. Andrew Surprac. So once again, that's our last guy there. We want to talk about Andrew Surprac, and he is the son of Eric Surprac. Andrew is also a 4-year member of his team. His career high game is 247. Career high series is 657. Both took place earlier this year against McKeesport. It helped him raise his average to 181 this season. Andrew is undecided about his plans for graduation, but bowling is definitely in his future. So while we have a chance, we want to take a look at over on the right lane, far right, we have the JV bowlers, and Coach Cherry is deep as he has about maybe 8 guys over on the right lane that'll be looking to move up to varsity and take over for Tyler Larson and the other seniors as they move on into their next phase of life. So final score for Woodland Hills girls. Woodland Hills 532, and looks like Propel 846. So Propel comes out of this with a victory on their match with the girls bowling varsity team. And it looks like the boys will be victorious if they've already run the first 2 games, 923 to 276 and 936 to 217, as they have a sizable lead. Great ball there by Mike. He's swinging the ball out a little further. He gets that out to about 2 board. Gets the friction on the lanes to draw the ball back up, and he gets a strike. So once again, we are in game number 3 here at North Sales Bowling Center. I'm Greg Thomas. Right lane is Dylan. Dylan is up, and Andrew's up working on a strike. He can get a little double here. Lays the ball down, gets it out a little wide. Ball comes up late, and he leaves a 4-pin conversion there. Up on the right lane, though, is Dylan. And he takes out, looks like the 4-pin spare conversion. So this conversion on the left lane for Andrew, somewhat difficult because you got the sleeper in the back. Got to get it over that bucket, and he carries it out, throws the bucket outside. All the water's gone. Pins in the gutter. So on the right lane, Tyler's up, working on 2 strikes, gets the ball, and he gets it to carry. Did not look like a good ball. It may have dropped it in tight, but it held the line, and he gets 10 in the pit. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. So up on the right lane, for the Wolverines so far is James, and James leaves 10-pin. Solid 10-pin. That ball goes into the pocket a little bit off angle and leaves a 10-pin, and his opportunity is up. Throws a 2-hander at it, plastic ball, and he knocks it in the pit. So Mad Max joins me here to close out this match here for the boys varsity. Max, what are you seeing on the boys side that you like so far?
Right now I'm seeing a lot of good strikes. Beautiful spins like this one right here by Andre from Propel, as he makes a pretty decent hit there, but that split is quite nasty. But nonetheless, that spinning technique, that's not an easy feature to achieve. And then we got Michael over here to the left.
What's that, a yuck mouth?
Constantly hitting these strikes. But right there, we got 2 pins still standing up. Nonetheless, I'm loving what I'm seeing from the boys. The girls definitely put a whole lot of effort into those shots as well. The girls came out swinging, and they definitely made a few hits, actually quite a bit of hits. A few hits, it's an understatement. So right now, these students are very impressive. Right now, from my eyes and your eyes, we're definitely seeing a good show here.
Yeah, we'll see what Andre does here with this 2-7-6 pair. We'll see if he tries to throw the backup ball to take out. And he's going to have the 6-pin take out the 7, or I'm not sure how he's going to pick this up, how he's going to attack it, but we'll see here. This can be made, though. It's very tough. On a scale of 1 to 10, this one is big and difficult. Oh, great opportunity there, but he does not convert. Up on the left lane is Dylan.
Beautiful shot. It's rolling, and ooh, look at that. Look at that. A nice strike there by Dylan. The speed of 14.6 miles per hour on that one.
Yeah, Dylan looks like he moved inside, playing a straighter line, up about 15 to the pocket. And he gets the hold there as he playing with a polished ball.
There was some potential there in David's shot, but didn't go quite as he expected, as 4 pins is still up there. A bucket. 3 pins still standing there for Tyler. Now Tyler, he's a powerhouse right there. He's been getting strikes left and right, turkeys here and there, and definitely quite the impressive player, especially as we look at his score. He has 120 points to his name thus far.
Yeah, Tyler was working on a turkey there, trying to continue his great series so far. He needs a spare. Gets it. Oh, chops it. So once again, tough leave there. Lane conditions are changing. Andrews up on the right lane, and he throws the ball, and it goes Brooklyn, and it carries 10 and a bit.
14.3 miles per hour on that one. A decent speed. And then Andre, 71 points to his name. Andre is quite the hot shot himself, as we've seen him make a few strikes here and there. And that ball is beautiful strike for Andre with a speed of 13 miles per hour. He now is at 81 miles. He's now at 81 points. You got David over here to the left-hand side, 57 points accumulated to his name. And gutter ball.
Gutter ball by David. You don't see a whole lot of those, but nonetheless, I'm sure he'll come back here, try to pick it up. And we almost throws it. Gets the ball. James gets the ball out. It rides the gutter. Ball is halfway in the gutter, riding about one board, and it comes back and takes out the spare.
Yeah, James was surprised about that one himself across his hardware.
Yeah, that ball, 3/4 of the ball was over the edge of the gutter and caught a little friction and held on, came back, and he completes the spare. Mike is up on the right lane.
Oh.
And he goes Brooklyn as well. Once again, you see the lane conditions breaking down a little bit. A lot of balls going Brooklyn here. Players got to make the adjustment. Chase the oil or move right and go back out. Or swing it, depending on what you decide you want to do. What your means of attack is for these lanes. So everybody attacks the lanes differently. Almost great shot there by Mike. He's working on a 122 here. In the 7th frame.
Dylan, yeah, he's another assassin for his team, as he has quite a bit of strikes on his name. Just previously scored a strike. Right there. And beautiful right on the nose. 2 pins still standing. You got that sour apple, and at least a sour taste in your mouth, but nonetheless, a great hit there at 15.1 miles per hour on that ball.
Yeah, so we've seen a lot of players go high. Balls going Brooklyn. We'll have to make an adjustment, either play tighter and play into the fresh oil, swing the ball out. play a deeper line, swing the ball out, and play a little bit tighter, play up 15 to the pocket. Moving left there in the pocket is Andrew. He moved inside and played a little bit straighter line with a ball with a little bit less friction on it, a polished ball, and what allowed him to get straight to the pocket and blow up 10 in the pit.
Yeah, right to its juicy core, and decent spare right there by Dylan. 16.5 miles per hour on that ball.
So Craig Thomas here with you from North Versailles Bowling Center, along with Mad Max Keever.
Always good to
Max,
be here.
you got a little bit of a washout there on the left lane.
Yeah, that we do. 4 pins, almost in that W formation that makes that signature washout split. But
so this is difficult for James. He has to get that ball Brooklyn, carry the head pin and over and take out the 10 pin. As Tyler Larson is up on the right lane and he blows 10 back in the pit as he's trying to save his last game here and definitely be over a 600 series and trying to get the 700 series here to close out the season. So once again, we are at North Versailles Bowling Center. Make sure you get out and support your local bowling alley. Call 412-824-6700. Call Beanie. Make your reservations. Come on out and bowl here at North Versailles Bowling Center. Great time out. I love to bowl. I used to get out myself, partner, and I would practice 15 games.
15 games.
15 games in a row. Practice.
That's a relaxing sport. I mean, yeah, it's needed. It's needed. It's good for the mind. It's good for the soul. It keeps you active. And we love watching it. And the messenger just missed.
Yeah, great try there. Great try there by the young man to get that pin over, to try to get the head pin over and take out the 10 pin. But yeah, you come out and practice this and you stay out here all day and bowl until you're exhausted. But when you have the proper technique, those 15 games go by pretty easily.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, when you're having fun, time flies by. But it's now you played this game quite a bit of times. Would you say when you're playing competitively, it's a little bit different when you're playing leisurely, or would it be about the same kind of sentiment?
Well, you just have to have the same mindset when you're practicing. Even though your score doesn't matter, you got to work on things, your technique, your approach, your release. All that has to be smooth. I mean, I shot 300 maybe 6 or 7 times. Shot 800 twice. 800 is definitely more difficult than 300. 300 you can get lucky a couple times with a couple strikes and get the 300. But the 800 series is a lot more difficult.
Beast.
Yeah, you got to be locked and loaded to get 800. Every game, basically every ball has to be almost a strike. You know, you maybe only have 4 or 5 frames that's going to not be a strike, and you can still get you an 800. So great opportunities for these young people to get out here and participate in the sport. I started my kids bowling at like 6 years old. You know, so you can start early age here, get them a little plastic ball, come on out, have a good time with the bumpers when they little. But then after that, you take the bumpers away and you teach them how to keep the ball in the lane. So all these people have been bowling for quite a while here.
Yeah.
There's Tyler Larson, the captain for Woodland Hills. He's up on the left lane, working off of a strike. Woodland Hills is trailing, is actually leading Propel 665 to 166. Ball is high flush, blows them back in the pocket. 10 pins in the pit for Mr. Larson.
It was such a beautiful clearing. He made it happen. And right here, David. That ball has a lot of potential to it, and he makes the spare. Good shot by David.
That could have been 20 in the pit for Mr. Larson. He blows them back real good. So that was a great opportunity. That young man's on a double. So finishing out, we have the foundation frame and then the 10th frame here. We'll see if the Wolverines can finish out big here. And they are primed and prepped to be undefeated 2 years in a row.
2 years in a row. That is quite the record there. And scouters love to see that when it comes to giving out scholarships to very skilled athletes. Beautiful rolling there by Andrew. Excellent.
That's a little turkey. Andrew leaving the building with a little going home with a little turkey.
And some shine to his name as well. A great hit there by Andrew, or Andre rather.
And he leaves a 7-pin. You'll see him throw a backup ball at that.
James and
Yeah, James is playing with a ball that's not creating as much friction, not turning up as much. He used to get the ball out wider onto the dry part of the lane to get that ball to come back a little bit harder into the pocket.
Yeah.
Or switch balls and go to a higher friction ball. So he has a couple options, what he wants to do to try to, get the ball reaction that he's desiring right now.
right. It's all about that positioning, how you throw that ball, and it seems like his positioning's good.
Yeah, James is a big, tall young man. He looks like he's about 6'4", 6'5". He's got a long way to go to get down to lay that ball down.
So previously, Andre put his all in all in there. It seemed like he kind of ringed out his wrist a little bit as he's just kind of let it loose. He just had that expression that it was, I put a little bit too much juice in that throw. But nonetheless, he's a great athlete for Propel, and definitely we know Propel is proud to have him. Michael over here with a beautiful, smooth shot. Ooh,
Bad break there for Mike.
The
And
demon pin.
he leaves the baby split there. That's a difficult one to pick up. And I'm looking at that. I'm trying to figure out if that's the 4-6
Yeah, it looks like
or the 5. Yeah, or the 6. Yeah.
looks like the 7-8 or the 7-9 rather.
Nonetheless, you got to fit the ball right in between both pins and take them both out. Good chance. Oh, good effort by the young man. That is a very difficult spare. That's about a 9 on a scale of 1 to 10 there on that degree of difficulty there. Because you got to perfectly fit that ball in between both pins and touch both of them in order to get that spare.
Yeah, takes a lot of skill, finesse to happen. Dylan over here. Dylan's just fluid with this. Look at this.
Good ball.
And bada bing. Ooh.
Runs up high. He leaves a big split. Now this one is difficult to get. All right, this is the 6-7-10 split. When you look at it, you got to get the ball out to the right, slide the 6-pin over a cross lane into the 7, and let the ball take out the 10. So we'll see on the approach. Throws the ball. He has a chance. Oh, and just about misses it. Almost picks it up. Great effort by that young man. Good effort.
Two's better than one, though, nonetheless. Andrew. Oh.
Yeah, it looked like he hurried a little bit on that left lane as Andrew was up again, and he was working on a little turkey there. But on the right lane, Tyler is up, and he's working on 2 strikes. Throws it. Oh, ball comes up a little bit light.
Yeah, it's got a split right there, the baby split.
Good pickup there by Andrew on that left lane. And he has a 195 so far, so he can finish out here with a 205. Should be a great game. We'll see here. This one here is very difficult to make. Can be made, though.
Oh.
Almost. Good try there by Tyler.
Just around the back.
So his max score right now will be a 208, which would be a good series as well. Good ball there for Andrew as he finishes out. Good game for Andrew. Finishes out with a 202 game. Great job by that young man.
Coming up next, we got Andre for Propel with a furious throw. And beautiful. Oh, all but one. A great tap. That 7-pin still standing.
And he leaves the 7-pin. So once again, Woodland Hills with a sizable lead. Right now, 807 to 194 over the Propel Braddock Hills team. Once again, great afternoon to be here at bowling. Woodland Hills versus Propel, North Versailles Bowling Center. Live on the Roxamore Sports Network. Bowling division. Tomorrow's basketball, Friday night's basketball. Stay tuned. Also, don't forget, get your tickets. Rock Comedy Show in orbit. Featured Izzy for Real and my girl, I holla. Make sure you get your tickets. Be a great time out. I'll be there, Max. I'll be in the house. Planning on bringing some people with me. You gonna come out and have a good time?
Come out with the crew? Yeah. Sounds like a good time. I'm always down for that.
Make sure you get your tickets.
Beautiful.
Little loft there by Mike, and he gets the ball to hold in the 1-3 pocket, and he gets a strike on his first ball in the 10th. That ball goes a little bit wide there for Andre, and he throws it in the channel on his field ball in the 10th frame.
Yeah.
You hate to see that on your last ball.
Absolutely.
Especially.
Yeah. He put so much power into that spin. But that spin just weaned off right there to the left immediately. David with a fresh batch of pins to eat up, and he's got the ball. He's got the appetite for this, and ooh, decided to leave some leftovers. He got 3 pins still standing. Michael
Gets the ball left, and it goes left. And he leaves 4 pins there. Definitely bowling will take a lot out of you. 3 games here under pressure. And these young people get a little bit off focus here towards the end. But it looks like Woodland Hills has enough in the tank to get out of here with a victory, as they have already won the first 2 games by a sizable margin.
Yeah, no kidding. That score is ferocious. 831 over 204.
Good pickup there by Mike. The 4-pin conversion to close out the game with a 168. Max, I remember starting out my first year of bowling, and I was averaging about 160.
160.
So, yeah, continue to work hard. Got my average up to about 220, and then figured out the game is a handicap game, so I got it down to about 200, and proceeded to use the handicap to be successful in this game here. But unfortunately, in high school, they don't have any handicap. They get the bowlers get the bowl whatever they bowl.
Yeah.
If you only got 2 bowlers, you get the score for the 2 bowlers. And that's one of the reasons why Woodland Hills has been very successful, because they've always fielded a great team. They have 5 bowlers, so that gives them a great opportunity to win every time. As some of these schools, unfortunately, don't have the same type of participation.
Certainly, but the skill set of Woodland Hills is remarkable. As we just look at that scoreboard, we see a bunch of X's and dashes, mostly X's though. It's just strike after strike. Amazing skill set these boys have. The parents are definitely proud. We know the school's proud. And they should be proud of themselves as well. They're not cocky, but, proud.
Well, Coach Cherry, let it be known that he's been there for 26 years. So there's a great deal of stability there. When you've had a coach building a program for 26 years, constantly recruiting your younger players to come out and bowl, and definitely, putting out a good product week in, week out.
He's a skilled coach. He's got a great personality, which definitely feeds into the players' motivation. And it's definitely been a great show that we've been seeing this whole time. Right now we got the anchor, Tyler, for Woodland Hills.
So Woodland Hills, actually, they have more people on their JV team, which is like 8 people right now on the JV team, than some teams have on their varsity. They got 8 on the JV team right now for Woodland Hills.
8. Wow. It's quite a bit there. Tyler here in his last frame. The anchor for. Should I take that back?
So Tyler, the anchor's up, working, throws a strike in his first ball, gets it, drills it in the pocket, leaves a solid 10 pin. So this will be it for the match. Looks like Wolverines are going to get out of here with a victory.
So far, Tyler has accumulated 197 points here in this game.
It looks like he'll go out with a 198 with a spare conversion, and he drives by it. Little drive by here in North Versailles to end it out.